The revelation has reignited public attention and raised new questions about what really happened, who was responsible, and whether investigators are any closer to finding answers. Today, we are taking a closer look at the timeline of events, the messages that shocked investigators, the emotional response from the Guthrie family, and what could happen next in a case that continues to captivate the nation. This is the story of Nancy Guthrie's disappearance. And it is a story filled with mystery, fear, heartbreak, and unanswered questions. To understand why this case has attracted such widespread attention, it is important to begin with the people at the center of it. Savannah Guthrie is one of the most recognizable faces in American television. As a longtime anchor on NBC's Today Show, she has spent years reporting major stories, interviewing world leaders, and helping millions of viewers start their mornings. Her career has placed her in the public eye, but her personal life has often remained far more private. That privacy was shattered when reports emerged that her mother, Nancy Guthrie, had disappeared. What initially appeared to be a missing persons case soon evolved into something far more alarming. Investigators began examining evidence that suggested Nancy Guthrie may have been abducted. Then came the first major development: a ransom note. According to information later revealed by sources familiar with the investigation, the first communication demanded millions of dollars. The existence of a ransom demand immediately changed the nature of the case. This was no longer simply a search for a missing person. Authorities were now dealing with what appeared to be a kidnapping. For the Guthrie family, the emotional toll must have been unimaginable. Families confronted with ransom demands often face an agonizing combination of hope and terror. Hope because communication suggests the missing person may still be alive. Terror because every message can bring devastating news. As investigators worked behind the scenes, another communication arrived. And this one was even more disturbing. According to multiple law enforcement sources, a second note was sent to media outlets in February. This note reportedly claimed that Nancy Guthrie had died. The message allegedly stated that her death was not intentional. According to the sources, the individuals responsible claimed that Nancy Guthrie died shortly after the kidnapping. If true, the statement represented a devastating shift in the case. The possibility of rescue was suddenly replaced by the possibility of loss. Yet investigators remained cautious. Law enforcement officials reportedly believed the communications were legitimate and likely originated from the kidnappers themselves. That assessment made the contents of the messages especially significant. Authorities were no longer dealing with random rumors or internet speculation. They were analyzing communications that they believed could have come directly from those involved. What happened next reveals just how sensitive the investigation had become. CNN and a local television station in Tucson, Arizona, reportedly received both notes. Normally, news organizations move quickly to publish important information. But in this case, something unusual happened. Both organizations agreed to withhold key details. According to reports, law enforcement and the Guthrie family requested that the contents of the notes remain confidential. The reason was strategic. Investigators hoped that if additional messages arrived in the future, they could authenticate them. Certain details known only to the sender could help authorities determine whether future communications were genuine. In criminal investigations, preserving information can sometimes be as important as revealing it. A single undisclosed detail can become a critical tool. It can help verify a suspect's identity. It can expose a fraud. It can provide evidence in court. For that reason, secrecy became part of the investigative strategy. While investigators continued their work, the public remained largely unaware of what had been happening behind the scenes. Then came a moment that caught the attention of viewers across the country. On February 7, the Guthrie family released an emotional video response. In that message, Savannah Guthrie delivered a brief but powerful statement. "We received your message, and we understand." The words were simple, yet they carried enormous emotional weight. At the time, many people wondered exactly what she meant. What message had the family received? Why was the response so carefully worded? What information existed that the public did not yet know? Looking back with the benefit of later reporting, the significance of that statement becomes much clearer.